Hi everybody, coming to you today from Santa Barbara and the Alchemy of Beauty. I'm going to be talking today about the secrets of sequencing your facial products and layering and cocktailing. But before I jump into that, I really want to talk about the purpose of these segments. Having a facial ritual in your routine every day is just about self-care. And it's an energetic empowerment and healing. It's grounding, especially when you're using botanical or organic products. They're healing you internally, they're empowering you, they're making you feel good, and when you look in the mirror, that reflection back to you is inspiring. I've noticed that since we're all homebound, that when I go out, I see people who look like they've just rolled out of bed. And they look depressed and tired and stressed, and it makes me feel stressed and tired. And that, again, is a reflection of us. And so when you replace stress and fear with inspiration and hope by instilling and energizing that beauty in you, that is going to be a healing. When you think about the queens in history and what they did before they faced their people, they would do ritual and anoint themselves with essential oils and empower themselves. And it's almost like an energetic shield of empowerment. And then they'd face their people, and the people would applaud because they can feel that power and that presence. And that's what we want to instill, is a presence that becomes a reflection to other people of inspiration and hope. It's just like seeing a beautiful painting and being inspired by it, or seeing a beautiful sunset and just feeling so calm and so grounded and so at peace. That's what we want to share right now energetically. I think it's very important, and for that very purpose, I'm coming to you to share these segments about maintaining that ritual and the power of the ingredients that you use and the healing that that brings. And so with that, let's get started. In talking about the fundamental steps of sequencing your products, I encounter new clients every day, and they're using the wrong products, they're doing it in the wrong sequence, or the wrong time of day. And all those things are really important. So we're going to start with your warm-up, which is your Clarisonic brush, which we talked about last time. And if you weren't with me, your Clarisonic brush is not only a deep cleansing tool, but it promotes circulation, it's tonifying for your skin and the jawline and your neck, and then the products that you use to follow are going to penetrate deeper, so it promotes product penetration. In the morning, you're going to just rinse with water. You're going to, all you have, your face isn't dirty. Hopefully you washed it the night before. And you're going to rinse with water because you want to just remove those dead skin cells and any products from the night before. At night is the most important time to cleanse, and at that time you want to do two cleanses. One, to remove pollution and impurities and makeup and your sunscreen, and then the second one is to cleanse your skin. And so the cleansers to use for that is, and again, this is where I see people a little bit confused, is that if you have a dry skin, you want to use a cream or a lotion cleanser. If it's winter like it is now, you want to be using a cream cleanser. And maybe during the day you feel that's a bit heavy, but remember, you didn't need to cleanse your skin with a cleanser in the morning. So maybe you just switch it up every other day. Maybe the next day you're going to use a cleansing lotion. There's so many different cleansers. There's cleansers that are refining. There's a 3-in-1 cleanser. That's a great one by Epicurean that has, it's an oil, and then it turns into a little bit of a foam, so it's removing your makeup, it's creating a moisturizing effect on your skin, and it's cleaning your skin. One important thing is that if you're using a cream or a lotion and you have dry skin, why not start to moisturize and hydrate it in your cleansing step, especially if you're dry. It doesn't need to leave film on your skin. If it does, then there's chemicals in there. It just should leave it feeling supple and soft. If you have a dry skin, then, or excuse me, an oily skin, then you might use a gel cleanser. But we're in winter, so seasonally, you want to switch out your cleansers as well as your other products. If you're oily, then you might be using a cleansing lotion right now. Again, most oily skins are really deficient in water or oils, and that's why they're promoting so much to overcompensate. So if you give it what it needs, it slows down the sebum, and then your skin starts to balance out. Once again, with new people that I encounter who come to me for facials, I've noticed that their skin can feel like shingles on a roof. And I mean, honestly, my hands almost get caught on their skin. But as soon as I start cleansing them and applying water and using a cleansing cream or lotion, their skin smooths down. And so that's a really important way to recognize the fact that your cleanser is really important. So make sure you're using the right one. Next, we'll go into the exfoliants. So if your exfoliant is a big grade, it's just going to be abrasive to the surface of your skin, and always fine scrubs, extra fine exfoliants, microderm crystals. Those are the ones that you want to be using because you want it to penetrate the pore and remove the impurities. And most exfoliants in the winter, you want to use 1 to 2 times a week. In the summer, you can be using it 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, depending on if you're using a lot of sunscreen, you're really sweating, exercising a lot, you really want to get down there and kind of clean it up. So a fine exfoliant is not going to be abrasive, but remember, what you remove, you always want to replace and replenish. And so in comes your hydrants, which are really important to use a good amount of, and your mist, so that you're really rehydrating and replenishing your skin. So that takes me to the next step of your mist, your botanical mist. There's a plethora of mists that can be used that are hydrating, calming, soothing, and if it smells good to your nose knows, then it's right for you. Last time we talked about the activating water essence and the power of that, using that with your masks, and also the power and the benefits of using that in your routine, so that it helps your other products that follow, your serums and your lotions and moisturizers, penetrate deeper. In the past, before I knew better, I thought that your toner or your botanical mist was a step that you could eliminate, that it wasn't that important. But I've come to find out in years of experience how very vital that step is, and here's why. When you wet your canvas, it makes your skin more pliable so that your serums are going to penetrate deeper. Your mist is the smallest molecule, and anything that follows, your serums, your lotions, your creams, are going to be a bigger molecule. It makes them more soluble, and it acts as a carrier to take them deeper to the cell. It's like wetting cardboard. If your cardboard is dry and you try to rub butter on it, it's not going to go in. But if you wet that cardboard and then you apply the butter's going to kind of penetrate in. I know that's a weird metaphor, but you get what I'm trying to say. You want to use about 7 to 8 pumps of your mist. So I always think of doing the sign of the cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Make sure you get your décolleté, because you will be using the same thing that you apply to your face goes to your décolleté all the way to the top of your chest, just because that skin is just as delicate, and when the sun hits you, it bounces down off the top of your head to the top of your chest. So you really want to be applying your hydrants and your mist to your skin. And again, that activating water essence is extremely powerful, and that is one I would use as well as the botanical mist. So moving into our serums, the serums that you use during the day are going to be different than the ones you use at night. For an example, During the day, the sun is shining. You want to be using your vitamin C serums for brightening and protecting your skin against the radiation of the sun. Also, any lightening spot treatments that you're using to brighten your skin and inhibit the melanin production. Melanin produces every single day unless you're using a vitamin C to inhibit that. You're also going to be using hydrants and anti-aging serums during the day, which you're going to layer right after your vitamin C. So always this rule of thumb is helpful to remember. Whatever you apply first is going to penetrate the deepest. Another metaphor to think about is a well. If you have a well and you drop in a penny, the penny's going to drop to the bottom. And then you're going to put water on top, that's going to go on top of the penny. And then you have a piece of paper that's going to float on top, and you put the lid on top, and that's going to seal it in. So again, whatever you apply first is going to go the deepest, going deepest and carrying deepest to the cell. And so after that, you do your serums, your lotions, and your creams, the next biggest molecule. So again, during the day, you probably want to use that vitamin C first, then your hydrating serum, or you can cocktail it together with your anti-aging products or antioxidants. But again, if you want the power of, say, a peptide, then I wouldn't be diluting it with a hydrant. I would use that peptide first, and then maybe an antioxidant, and an instant lift, and a hyaluronic acid, and then your hydration on top, so that you're sealing those in. If you're in a hurry, you can cocktail those all together and do a big application, and then your sunscreen after. There are so many anti-aging serums that can be used day or night. Just important to know that if you use one during the day, say when you're most active, then say your Pro Collagen, then what you use at night when you rest and restore are going to be those that you really want to penetrate deep. So is that going to be your Pro Collagen, or is that going to be your antioxidants? And if you choose one or the other, switch it up the next day, because you want to keep your skin stimulated, and that's a way of doing that. So next we have our lotions. So again, there's a plethora of lotions. You can use day, night, you can combine them, you can layer them. I personally like to layer them. I have dry skin, so I do all the serums, do a light, beautiful rose lotion, and then I'll use a deep cream, and then next we'll just segue right into our oils. Do you want to combine your oil with your lotion, or do you want to combine it with your cream? Do you want to use that first? Do you want to use it last? You can use it in any way, in any sequence, but the most important, if it isn't an oil blend that has been finely formulated to make it nice and light, you can't just use olive oil on your skin. How many times people have come to me who are using just straight olive oil? That's a big fat molecule. It's not going to penetrate. It's just going to sit on the surface. It's going to clog your pores. It's going to combine with dead skin cells, and you're going to have this tough surface for skin. And believe me, I've worked on that skin and just been shocked at what happens when you're not applying products properly, or you're using the wrong ones. Recapping that you can say you have a very finely formulated oil, you might use 2 drops on your skin, and then use your lotion and your cream, and then maybe do 1 or 2 drops again at the end. And then you can do your sunscreen if it's daytime. If it's nighttime, maybe you're going to do the same sequence, change it up a bit so that your skin is kind of surprised. And then a final little note, every one of us kind of loses that connection between our face and our body. There's just a big disconnect. But what you do for your body, you do for your face. So at night, a lot of people have dinner, say 5 o'clock, and by 8 o'clock you want a little snack. Maybe you want an apple or some little something. Well, so does your face. If you did a facial routine at 5 or 6 and all that is penetrated in, you want to repeat that before you go to bed, at least an hour before, 45 minutes. And go get like a little bit of hydrant and moisturizer and oil and reapply, because you're in bed for 8 hours. And during that time, if your face is not nourished and doesn't feel dewy and wet and doesn't have something there to feed it, it's going to go into dehydration, depletion, and then detriment. And then in the morning you wake up crusty and dry, and that's when wrinkles set in. So let's not let that happen. So just remember, reapply before you go to bed if your face doesn't feel dewy and soft and supple. Just remember that the application benefits are also really important. So whether you're doing it before, after, or combining it, you're going to be providing different benefits by the sequence and the application that you choose. And always switch that up so that you're stimulating your skin. So just a big recap on everything. Let your senses guide you when it comes to your botanical mists. If it smells good to you, or any of your organic products, if it smells good to you, your nose knows, and that'll be a healing for your face and your body and your senses. It's what you need at that time. Layer and cocktail. Be the alchemist. Have fun with it. Be creative and be in the moment. If today you feel like you need calendula and chamomile, and tomorrow you need lavender and jasmine, then listen to your senses and go with that, and have a little combination. You can make your own mist at home as well. That'll be another segment we'll talk about. If you're hydrating or using anti-aging products or acne products, again, you know, we can always customize that with a call and a free consultation, especially for acne. So in our next segment, we're going to talk about SPFs, and don't think that's going to be boring, because it's not. I'm going to surprise you with some things that you just might not know. I want to close by just saying, remember to bring that beauty out and to take care of yourself, because beauty holds power, it holds inspiration, and mostly it holds hope. Namaste.